Well, welcome to the podcast. Nathan Newberry here, your host. I have Matthew Lesko. He's a big influencer online. You guys are going to hear from him some tactics and also some sort of things like that from, being out of debt, from growing online. We're going to talk about some of those tactics toward the end of the conversation. But in this podcast, we're going to hear his origin story and hear some more about his upbringing and his books and his being an author and speaker. You guys are going to hear some more from him on that. Before we dive in, if you want to build an online brand and you need a free workshop down below for all you listeners, check out that free workshop. That's going to really help you grow and expand. And as Matthew, as we dive into it, one of the questions I asked everybody is, what is high performance? What does that look like? Being 81 years old. Yeah. How do you apply that to your
I
life?
don't know what the fuck even that means. I just want to have fun and help people. High performance to me now is going from your heart. Everybody has 1,000 ways to make money, and that may or may not work. But there's a way I believe, being 81 is, man, the key to anything is your heart, because you can always have any kind of 7 steps of this, 13 steps of that. But if your heart's not in it, it ain't going to fucking work, because no matter what you do, you're going to fail. You got to be bumps in the road and shit like that. There's no magic formula. The magic formula is in you, I feel. And so if your heart's not in it, and I feel the same in personal relationships and professional relationships, no matter what you do, it's different for all of us getting through life. And sure, we could learn tips and tricks from other people, but the real thing about you getting through this life is what's inside of you, because that's the most important thing you have to give, and that's the most unique thing you have to give. Trying to copy other people, no, I mean, I guess that's okay, but it doesn't add value, and the way to add value in life is to look inside of you and give the world what is weird or neat about you, because that's where you can add value. I mean, you go and get 15 copies of all the other stuff, but they can't get you and what's in your heart. And that's why I think the same as personal relationships. After 3 marriages, I feel it's the same thing. I mean, the language that we use to communicate with each other is very difficult, even though we all speak English. What a word means to you means different to me, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the closer you get to whether it's a customer or your partner's heart to understand what that means, what that feels like, is, I think, the best way to communicate. But it's not easy, because we're also protective. So we want to do, like what you see of me now, that this is me inside. And when I first started dressing like this or whatever, I lost millions of dollars. They wouldn't let me on TV anymore. You can't talk about financial success and look like a fucking clown.
You have this persona online that is very eccentric personality with the glasses and the dress, and it's pretty cool. Like I like it. You got to stand out in the world nowadays to even get any sort of attention. So I think
Absolutely.
that's pretty smart to do. But when did you take that on? Because you have this big online persona and this big image and characters that when did you take
Well,
that on?
years and years ago, when I got an MBA in computers at a computer software company, and all kinds of things I was starting, and none of it worked. And I wasn't having fun. It was costing money, didn't have much. So I was going broke. Um, Nothing was working, and I wasn't having fun. And I said, boy, what a shitty life. And I said, well, well, God, so it looks like life is no guarantee you're going to make it, or whatever that is to you, or be a millionaire, all that kind of stuff, be very successful. So there's no guarantee in that. So I think, and I'm trying to figure that out, but I was miserable doing it. I wasn't having fun. So to me, okay, now I say, what I got to do is flip that around. I'm going to have fun first. And when I start having fun, then I started being successful.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I mean. That fun comes from you and your heart. going to tell you, oh yeah, act like an asshole on TV and you'll make a lot of money. No, but don't tell Donald Trump that. Uh,
I
that's
want to
what I
ask
first
you.
thought. Go ahead.
I remember either it was my dad or someone said after 40 you're responsible for your own wrinkles. And when I look at your pictures, you get people, and you probably met this, you see the scowl written on their
Oh,
face.
right. Yeah.
When I look at pictures of you, Matthew, and for people that are listening to it, Matthew's just this bubbly personality, and you see it, like you have smiles and you have
Oh,
wrinkle
right.
smiles, which is really cool. Like there's not
Well,
many
that's
people
meant to
have
be
that.
received. But it's all very selfish. It makes me feel good. I mean, especially dressing like this or whatever. I mean, it changed my life. So people come up on the street and hug me. They don't even know my work. I just made them smile. Wow, if I could do that, I have nothing better to do if to do that. And that's why I see giving is that way too. Giving is very selfish because it feels so good. And actually, maybe it's my age, so don't trust me. At 81, I'm different than whatever you are. Uh, but I mean, at your age, I mean, and until really pretty recently, men in this society work on getting stronger, faster, smarter. Well, at 81, none of that shit's going to get better. All that's going downhill. But I can love harder. See,
Hmm.
and that's what it is. So that's why my work now, it's all about love. Man, how much can I love you today? Our community, we have a community of 15,000 people that just try to love each other as much as possible by helping them get the money and help they need to succeed in life. And that's what I do. I wake up every day. Now, how many people can I help today? And that's what keeps me, number one, mentally out of worrying about myself. And we go, oh, life is shitty. That's a foregone conclusion in my life because it all happens. If you're human, bad shit's going to happen to you. And that's being life. So, and then we take it so personally and we think the world is against us. Then I find that, yeah, no, nobody's getting up all over the world trying how we could screw over Lesko today. That's not on anybody's agenda. But you think that is when you go through bad stuff. And how do you get over that is very difficult at times. And so that's why if you look at your work as giving, and that's why to me, why does work? I mean, I never wanted work to be work. I think we're all here to work. We're all here to give. We're all here to give to other people. Uh, Otherwise, what are you giving up the space for? Why are we here for? It's to help other people, things like that. So to do that, uh, you don't want a miserable person. I mean, that joy comes back to you and increases your heart by just helping other people.
Where did
And
that
so many,
begin though? Like you're 81 now.
right,
Where did that giving begin? Most of the time, teenagers, 20-year-olds, they're focused on trying to figure out who they are. And
right,
so most of their time is inward, trying to
yeah,
think and trying to discover
right.
themselves. But then you've
And that's
discovered this
true.
at 81 now. It's like
Yeah,
giving back is a big part of your identity now, but you've also realized and learned some of these lessons that you receive back the more you give.
yeah.
And like
It
you said, it
does.
could be selfish, but it's a really good business model. It's a really
I
good way
think
to live.
it is. I think we're trapped because of capitalism. Because that's the engine that fuels everything for us in our society. And I like capitalism because what it does is show you if what you want to give is worth it to anybody. If it's not worth it, and I want to give you so much, but nobody wants it, then, but you think everybody should have it. That's sort of like masturbating. You want to make love, man, and help somebody else. And that's what it is. So that's what's cool to me about capitalism. But it is when you get those goals that all capitalism goals is dollars, right? And then so you forget about the other part of us. But what people don't realize too is that here, here's a chart. Our society is made up of over this side, green and blue. This is government and nonprofit organizations, and this is capitalism. This is our whole economy. Government and nonprofit organizations make up 40% of our economy. They're the part of our economy that gives to members. They're there to help each other. They're help. Your fire department comes up and puts out your house on fire, and they don't ask for your credit card. So these are helping people, and you don't have to pay for it. And then Google and capitalism, you have to pay for everything, and that's cool, works. But there's, to me, what I concentrate on, the people who have to know this side of it, because they don't have money. You want to start a business, you want to get a new roof on your house, or pay your bills. You can't. You're in debt. So all that stuff, if you go to this side of society, it's going to cost you money. But you don't have any money. What the fuck you doing over there? You got to stay away from that and go to this part that's set up to help you with that. Good or bad, it's there. And that's what excites me, because I learned this by helping rich people. It was after the software company failed and a whole bunch of things back in the 70s, I started helping Fortune 500 companies grow their business. And I would get information, do market studies, research, stuff like that. And I was in Washington, and when they wanted to start or grow a business, I'd find a government office that would help them. Give them money, give them anything they want. These are millionaires. And then after about 3 years, that was my first successful business. I grew from me and a desk and a phone in my apartment to about 30 people on K Street down here. And but after about 3 years of that, I said, Jesus, I'm helping millionaires become billionaires with free money. And I grew up in a little town called Wilkesboro, Pennsylvania. It was a coal mining town. And my heritage is grandparents on both sides came over to work in the coal mines. And we didn't know anything about government programs. I mean, the government was the IRS and the DMV and the post office, and that was it. So I got so excited about all this stuff. Man, people in Wilkesboro's got to know about this stuff. So I couldn't charge, I had charged thousands and thousands of dollars, because millionaires will pay for anything if they make more money. And that's easy. But the people who didn't have that money seemed like but I mean, I think what it is, I didn't feel needed by doing this for a millionaire. And so that left a little hole in a way. It certainly increased my pocketbook and success and things like that. But I felt I could contribute more, to society by helping the people who really needed this stuff. And so I did it in books. So you buy a $20 book, $40 book, or whatever. And that's what I did. And then actually about 10 years ago or so, maybe 7, I forget now, people stopped buying books because I was selling reference books. You had Google. Need a reference book. Bookstores are all gone the way it used to be and everything. Talk shows, how I used to market, are really gone, for that too. So I had to find out a way, and it took me a number of years until I found. And then I feel I couldn't do personal help because you have to charge lots of money. Or you do this, right? So your time is limited, so you can't charge $20 for something. But I wanted to charge for $20. So that's why I create a community where it's not only me, it's people helping people do this. And it's really because they feel the joy of helping people. They after they learn something, is help other people try to learn how they got this money and help. And that has, is bigger than I ever thought. I thought I'd just have a newsletter, as a stream of income for something. I knew I was going to do this to educate people for the rest of my life. And I feel like about 10 more years, but now, wow, the way it's growing now is very nice. And it's something I thought the government should always do. I mean, I shouldn't be doing this. This is all government programs. It's not my money. So the government should have a place where people learn about this stuff. But they don't. And it's a little confusing. Gives me something to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah. And it's meaningful because people do need help to get out of debt. People need to know how to grow and scale. Like you've researched a lot of this, and many of the listeners here on this podcast are entrepreneurs, they're business owners, and they're trying to scale and grow. Like what things should they be paying attention to?
Well, if you're okay, let's say 2 things. Can you go online now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Go. SBA has a database any entrepreneur should know about. Now, you're not going to look for money from SBA, but you want their database at sba.gov and then slash local, LOCAL, hyphen assistance.
Okay.
Okay. You put in your zip code. There should be a place for you to put in your zip code down. Okay. Put in your zip code.
Okay. I'm seeing some spots. Yep.
Okay. And then you'll have maybe a half a dozen, depends on where you're out in the middle of nowhere. You may not have a lot of.
Seattle's an hour away from me, so I mean, you got many there.
How many do you have there? So you should have a bunch of organizations described there. And they're all nonprofit. Do you have a total number up in the top of it somewhere?
See, at least in my search, there's 70.
70? Wow. See, all of those are nonprofit organizations that help you start or grow any kind of business you want, help you find money, help you find technical help you find legal help you strategy and marketing. Anything you want is free. And it's also not only you want to start a nonprofit, or you're working on your invention, or just working on your house, being a real estate investor. All that are free. These are people that get paid good money. They're consultants that give their services for free. When I was working for Fortune 500s, I'd go to there, give them the answer the client gave me, get all the information, package it, and sell it for thousands of dollars. I thank them in the notes or something. But it's there for anybody. And see, so if you want to start something, go there. If you see a deal on the internet, see, but you're not going to find them on Google, because you go to Google and look for free money for business or help, and you'll get 200 million websites. And so you got a bigger problem than you started with. And everybody you call there will want money from you. And you don't have money. So then you'll think, oh, I can't start a business without money. No, you can't. That's absolutely wrong. And these people will help you figure that out. And they're all free. And that's what, there's another website too that people, particularly if you're an entrepreneur, successful or not, is government contracts. Uh, if why is Elon Musk a friend of Donald Trump's? He gets more government contracts than anybody else in the world. That's why he's fishing for more government contracts for everything he does. Now, he got $38 billion a year of government contract, but it's there for anybody. I mean, the government buy your hot dogs, or I see where they spent money on a freelance priest, or you're a massage therapist, you like to make pasta, anything you can think about doing. Internet marketing, they got to do that too, and they buy it. But you don't need a marketing department. You go to, let me show you, Apex, APEX, accelerators, one word, ACCELERATORS, and then .us. So that's Apex Accelerators.
I'll put these links down below in the show notes for people
Okay.
as well.
You know, I think I lost you.
Still here. Maybe a different
Okay,
screen.
you see me. Why isn't, I know you must be up in my tab somewhere. I see it. Yeah, okay. Okay, now I see it. Apex Accelerator. Well, there, again, you make an appointment. The key to getting government money or anything like this is the phone, not the internet. You don't want to do internet. You want to use a phone and personal help more than anything else, because that's how you relate. The people are giving you this for free. So we're used to going on Google and getting salesmen, and they'll kiss your ass forever until you get money, right? But these are different people. They already got their money from you. They're not going to get money from you. So you have to use you and your personality. It's sort of like going to office hours on your professor at college. So they know you as a human and not just as a dumbass in class. It's easier to pass you, and you get relate to a human. You don't want to, you want to help them more.
So
So
is this
that's
more of
it.
like a grant? Like people will get grants from things? Or is it like
Well,
a loan where they get from SBC? It's like if your credit's good and you have a good business model, then
no.
they'll approve you.
I mean, the money I'm usually there are loans, they're all, but this is first of all personal help. So you get a professional to sit down with you to help you find grants, to help you find loans. See, so in the state of Washington, you'll have 200 grants alone for people in business or want to start a business, at least probably 400, and they change all the time.
Hmm.
So it's finding those because it changes all the time. There's not the grant to start a business. No, that's not. Most of it's local, but these people keep up on that, and it's more than one. So you call 2 or 3 of these people and tell them you want to start your business. See, they get money because they want you to start or grow a business because you create economic activity in your neighborhood or wherever it is. You're creating jobs for yourself, jobs for everybody. That's why they do this. That's why Amazon gets $1 billion to put an office in Virginia. They gave him $1 billion. And so it's same for you being a mom and pop. There's about 200 cities that if you take your business that you have that's a nomad business, like you working off your computer or whatever, they'll pay you maybe 20 to 50 grand to move to their city because you're creating income there. You're paying taxes. See, this is what it's all about. And all the fat cats know this, man. This is why when Trump is swearing in ceremony, he had 3 billionaires behind him. Now, every fat cat lives off this stuff, and they know this is the best place to get free money and information for anything. And so that the one is to start a business, the other one is to be a government contractor, which could even get more money, than ever before. My sister used to frame things like office awards for for the IRS or whatever agency it was, doing $1 million out of her garage doing this stuff. And see, that's growable. A grant isn't. A grant usually one time or whatever. But a contract, you get this, you learn the system, you get more and more and more. And the more important, that Apex accelerators, they will help you find where they are, help you with the paperwork. You don't have to hire any consultant. See, if you go to Google to find a consultant to do this, they're going to charge you as much as they could get. And that's the key, is selling information. Whatever you have. That's why most ad agencies say, well, what's your budget? Fuck. What do you mean? I want to do it for as cheap as possible. And they just want to suck all the money. What do you have for this? Well, yeah, I could do it for that. uh, and so yeah, that's why I think it's the greatest opportunity, but also the roadblocks for people to grow their life. And that's what I trying to show people that they're there. Or housing now is a big problem, whatever. Let me show you one other website too, because entrepreneurs are usually, if they're starting, they don't have a lot of money. Go to findhelp.org.
Okay.
And put in your zip code again. See, that's the thing, you have to know your zip code. God, there's always a catch to all this stuff.
Yeah. Food, housing, goods, transit,
See,
money, care,
do
education.
you see a number in the middle of that page?
Yeah.
A big number? What is it?
2,117 programs.
Okay, 2,117. That means there's 2,117 nonprofit organizations giving out free money and help for anything you want. So, okay, you're an entrepreneur, can't pay your rent. Go up in the little search bar on the left hand and put in rent.
I see it there. Yeah.
And how many you got there? It's usually small on the top of the listing somewhere.
There's 87 pages.
Yeah. Oh, 87 pages? Oh, you got a shitload there.
Or maybe it's 87 total. Either it's
Yeah,
pages
maybe.
or total.
Yeah,
Yeah.
87 total sounds more. So it's 87 different sources that help you pay rent. I mean, that's why most people think, oh, maybe there's an office, I get a grant to pay my rent. They're looking for one office. No, there's 87 of them. So if one says no, it's sort of like marketing. One says no, it doesn't mean there's nobody who's going to buy your stuff, right? And now you have a list of 87. You go to Google to do that, and you literally get 200 million. And it's too big a problem to even tackle. But every office there gives out money and help for free. And you see it for anything. You have financial trouble, put in financial financial counseling. How's that? Maybe you have to back up so you
Yeah,
get a new
there's a tab called money, and then they have
right.
financial assistance, education, government benefits, medical supplies, those sort of things. But
All that is financial assistance. So people, that's what frustrates me, is there's so much free help out there. 40% of everything in our economy is giving away free help. And people don't know when they're going around struggling. Our country has more poor people in it. The percentage of population that's poor is bigger in our country than any other developed country. So we have like almost percentage in poverty is almost twice as much as Canada or most of the other developed countries. We're number one. We have a 17% poverty rate, where the average for the developed countries, that's the rich countries, there's about 30, 35 of them. That's about 9, 10%. And we're at 17%. That's why, to me, it seems like that's what we should be concerned about. If we have neighbors, so many neighbors in poverty, and we're worrying about going to the moon or whatever it is, it seems a little silly. And
can I ask you some tactic questions here, Matthew?
uh,
You're 81 years old, and you
yeah,
have over 300 followers on Instagram alone. Not even talking about the other platforms you have.
300,000, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
How did you grow that? What was your tactic around expanding that? Because that's pretty amazing at 81 years old, where so many people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s just cop out and say, there's no way I can learn it or leverage it, but you have.
Yeah. It, there is no, the secret is doing something. You don't know what is right to do. The only thing you have to know is what's right not to do is nothing. So you don't know what works for you. Everything works different for everybody. So you just keep throwing shit against that wall. Something will happen. I mean, I still do. I'll do 3, 4 videos a day. Is not. I mean, and like Instagram thing. After you, I'll do about 10 more of these little 1-minute bits. You have to do. It is, but Instagram isn't really where the money is for me too. I mean, it's good traffic and things like that. Nothing is bad. So that's why I mean,
Where do you
if
primarily get your clients from? If it's not Instagram, where is it?
well, yeah, it's some from Instagram. What's worked for me mostly is YouTube is much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Instagram is just you post-it notes.
Because you have over 300,000 subscribers on YouTube as well. So you
Right.
have a big reach with everything. What have you found to be the most helpful? Just talking about ways to help people with the call to action? I'm
That's
just
what
curious.
well, I know. Yeah, I mean, it's education. I mean, I never saw salesmen. I need sales to grow and to know so I can help more people, but mostly because if I know what I'm doing is needed, that tells me, okay, people will pay for this. That means it's needed, you know. Uh, and authenticity, I think, is best. The older I got, the more I said, nobody knows what's right to do. That's why if you look in your heart to feel what you think is right is a better place. I mean, advice isn't bad, but what happens is that different things work for different people. So you have to really go through the trial and error to see what works for you. It's like learning to walk. You know, so you have kids, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, when the kid wanted to walk, at least when my kids wanted to walk, they'd crawl over to the coffee table, pick themselves up, right? And then take that first step and fall on their ass, right? Now, when they become a grown up, you want to go and walk and do something new like that. People say, don't do that. You're going to fail. But the kid's not only going to learn to walk, he fails 100 times before. So that's what we all have to do when we want to do something new. But the experts and our loved ones, particularly the loved ones, are worse than experts because they don't want to see you hurt. They stop you from failing, and because that's the only way you're going to learn if you fail. So that's why my thing is, if they say don't do that, you're going to fail. Just say yes, I know, and then the argument is gone.
Being an online influencer, being on YouTube and Instagram and everywhere, how long have you been doing it? I think there's a thing where it's like people try it and then they stop doing it. It's like what you're talking about, or you do it really long-term thinking.
Oh, no. All of life is that. That's why if your heart is not in it, you'll leave because you're going to get bad stuff. No matter what you try, there's always going to be bad parts to it. It'll be easy to go in real estate. It'll be easy to go in that. No, that's going to be hard too, and you'll just quit after that. And so that's why you have to dig into you, what's important to you. So no matter what the fuck happens, you're going to get your ass off the ground and start swinging again. That's the only key to success is longevity. And then the other thing is money. And so that's why if you don't know what to do, the key is not to spend money. Because you don't know what the fuck to do yet. What's going to work for you? You're just going to waste money. So you have to do it and not spend money because that will knock you out of the game when your money's gone. So the key, and now with social media, you don't need money. And that's what I did even before social media. I found out how to get marketing by being a guest on shows, on talk shows. You don't pay anything. And that's how I became a professional guest because they used to use me a lot, like Larry King and Letterman and places like that. When somebody at the last moment canceled, they would call me, but I'll get there. And you're going to be 7 minutes of free airtime national? It was so funny. I'd be on Letterman, and that's usually about 7 minutes. You do 3 minutes, they have a commercial, then they come back and do 3 more or so with you. And I think I'm sitting there in the commercial. That guy with the commercial had to spend 50 grand to do that commercial, and I'm getting it for free because I act like an asshole. Media loves assholes.
Matthew, it's been so cool to get to know you and be on the podcast here.
Yeah.
Where can people follow you more? I mean, I'm going to put links down below to everything I possibly can, but what's the best place you like to?
Best way is leskohelp.com. That's our community. Again, we're just people helping bands. It's only $20. I mean, everybody told me I couldn't make money at $20. I did. I make so much money now. We give back like every month. We give out maybe $50,000 to $70,000 back to members and grants with our profit. That's what we do with a profit. So as long as we pay ourselves, and after that, we give the money back to people. I mean, I've never dreamt in my wildest imagination that I'd be able to do something like that. I thought you had to be Jeff Bezos or his ex-wife or something to be able to do that. And a little schmuck like me in a little business can do that. And you can. And that's why I think your heart is the most important part of your life. Not only for love, but also for giving what talents you have to the rest of us. So
I appreciate you being on.
One more quote.
Yeah.
Remember, your heart is smarter than your brain.
Your heart, yeah. Our mind could get things wrong sometimes, but our heart kind of,
it wants
those instincts
a spreadsheet and a checklist.
Yeah. Well, go follow Matthew on YouTube, on Instagram. Great guy. He has a lot of expertise. You guys are going to learn a lot from him. If you found some value here and you still want to grow online, just like Matthew as well, go check out that workshop down below in the show notes. That's going to be able to give you some real good value too, to help you really scale and grow. And from here, we'll see you on the next episode of the Nathan Newberry Show. Thanks for listening.